and welcome to Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds.
And I'm Dean O'Lally. Our destination for today's show, this is one of my favorite spots. It's the Oklahoma History Center.
We're having a day at the museum.
That's right.
And it's appropriate because this is a Smithsonian Museum affiliate. Inside this gorgeous building, you'll find more than 2,000 artifacts reflecting Oklahoma's inspiring and adventurous past. The museum is right across from our state capitol, and outside the building you'll find the Red River Journey that offers visitors a walking tour of the Red River Valley.
This is a wonderful place to explore for sure. And there's a spot actually in Tulsa that can get you in the middle of Oklahoma's natural surroundings really without leaving town.
Our Jason Grubbs takes us to the Oxley Nature Center.
Mohawk Park was one of Tulsa's first city parks, and today is among the largest in the nation. There's a golf course, and it's where you'll find the Tulsa Zoo. And on the north side of this vast amount of land is the Mary K. Oxley Nature Center.
The Nature Center encompasses pretty much the whole north end of Mohawk Park.
Director Eddie Reese says there's about 804 acres of natural beauty to enjoy, and you're welcome to discover it all for free.
It's probably a good idea, if you haven't been here before, to come into the building and visit with the naturalist and find out, where the trails are and where to go, and grab a trail map and head out. Blackbird Marsh, and there's the wild study area where the big cottonwood trees are.
There's about 11 miles of trails out here for you to hike. You can do all 11 miles, or you can do just a little bit of it. This is one of the starting points.
And they interconnect like a spider web. You can go as little as 1/10 of a mile, or you can walk all day long and do all 11 if you like.
You'll find a diverse landscape while walking the trails. There's open prairie land, wetlands, and woodlands.
Some of our woodlands are young, some are old. We have some trees that are probably 100 years old or maybe older.
All of it housing a diverse makeup of wildlife. A small lake that's about 80 acres, which was once a city recreational area back in the 20s, is now part of the natural experience here. Peaceful, full of fish, and popular with waterfowl.
We had 2 or 3 creeks and a 5-acre marsh with a 600-foot boardwalk that goes across it, and an observation tower to look out over both the lake and the marsh.
There are all kinds of wildlife that call this Tulsa oasis home. From migrant birds to foxes, squirrels, bobcats, coyotes, and possums.
Anything you can find around northeast Oklahoma, you can pretty much find it in the park, most of it. It's not unusual to come across one on the trail. You think we're way out middle of nowhere, but we're right inside city limits and 10 minutes from downtown. The airport is a mile that way, and the golf course and the zoo, and yeah, we're just kind of in the middle of all that. But you get here and you think you're 100 miles from the nearest town. So.
Check out the website oxleynaturecenter.org for free bird, butterfly, and botany walks. All of it's ready and waiting for you to discover this part of Tulsa.
I've worked here 25 years, and I've seen thousands and thousands of people come in, and nobody comes in a bad mood. Nobody leaves in a bad mood. I mean, that's just the way, that's what the woods does for you, It's a good place to rejuvenate your soul and before you go back to the hectic life in the city.
At the Oxley Nature Center in Tulsa, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.
From the heart of the big city to a storefront in a quaint Oklahoma town.
We're talking about Guthrie, the home of the Oklahoma Sports Museum. Our Darren Brown takes us to a place that's dedicated to Oklahomans who've been involved in everything from football and baseball to rodeo and golf.
We do have a lot of stuff, but it's good stuff, and it's stuff that represents athletes and teams for the history of Oklahoma.
There's definitely a lot of good stuff at the Oklahoma Territorial Capital Sports Museum. It's Guthrie's one-stop shop to see Oklahoma sports history.
We have over 65 baseball jerseys, plus all the football jerseys. Probably have around 120 jerseys of athletes of all different sports.
The museum was established in 1996 when Richard got together with his buddies, baseball legend Ferguson Jenkins and Harlem Globetrotter great Geese Osby. Since then, the museum's grown its collection every year, and they're always looking for more.
Pictures, jerseys, gloves, whatever that people have that they want to represent their family or themselves here as an athlete.
The museum has all the famous names you've heard, and some you probably haven't.
One that a lot of people don't know about is Earlene Beans Reisinger. And Beans Reisinger was the only lady from Oklahoma to play any length of time in the league of their own in the 1940s and 1950s, the American Women's Baseball League. And so she was from down by Altus at Hess, Oklahoma. And so we have a nice display here.
You may not have heard of the Hominy Indians.
A lot of people don't know about them. They were a professional football team from Hominy, Oklahoma, that played in a league that was made up of teams from northeastern Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas. One year they went undefeated, and an oil man from Hominy put together a game between the national champion NFL New York Giants and the Hominy Indians, and it was played in Hominy, and the Hominy Indians won it.
Yeah, those New York Giants. Try finding that story online.
The Oklahoma Territorial Capital Sports Museum consists of not one, not two, but 3 historic buildings right here in downtown Guthrie. You could spend hours here just counting the jerseys on the wall. Check this out, and this is just the football room. Let's check out the baseball room.
Sometimes a call from an old friend can lead to a historic find, like these baseballs.
He said, "Richard, I have a collection of baseballs that was given to Seminole State College, and they're just sitting down in the storage room. And if you would like them to put on display, they have some really good autographs on them because they came from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s of Major League Baseball. We have school groups, FCA groups, we have YMCA groups that come in, and we try to emphasize to young people that come in that all of us can't be professional athletes, but all of us can be successful with the ability God's given us."
In Guthrie, discovering Oklahoma sports greatness. I'm Darren Brown.
The Guthrie Sports Museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 4, and they don't charge admission, but they do hope you'll make a donation to help support the museum's future.
Let me get out our handy-dandy checklist. We have done a little bit of hiking, and we've learned a lot about sports.
I know what you're thinking, you know what I'm thinking, and they know what we're thinking. Where's the story about some great Oklahoma food?
Don't worry, of course we haven't forgotten about the food. Our trip to one of the best French restaurants you've ever seen is coming right up.
Which is amazing because then you have the ham, which is the savory, and then you have a little bit of the raspberry sauce that's sweet, and you dip it in there, and oh my goodness, it is like a huge seller.
Plus, wait till you meet these friendly faces. What big eyes they have. And as you can imagine, they eventually drew a crowd. How alpacas are luring visitors into the heart of the Sooner State when Discover Oklahoma continues.
Great travel tips anytime, like Discover Oklahoma on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Every night, sit alone and talk and watch a hawk
making lazy circles
in the sky.
We know we belong to the land, and the land we
Belong to his grand.
So when we say,
yeah,
We're only saying you're doing fine.
Oklahoma. Come see for yourself.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma. Again, we're coming to you from the Oklahoma History Center, and right now we're in the middle of the new exhibit, Dokikukut, which is the teepee with battle pictures, and it's centered around this glorious teepee from the 1800s, the middle of the 1800s. It's like a teepee and a history book. It's really impressive.
it is very impressive. Now, you want to be impressed by your next meal?
Always.
Always.
I'm in a constant state of that, yeah.
Here's what you need to do. You need to hightail it to northwestern Oklahoma. Tina McGarry is going to take us to an incredible French restaurant in Woodward.
There's a delicious surprise tucked behind this quaint storefront, a French cafe nestled on Main Street in Woodward. A French cafe in small-town Oklahoma is surprising.
Believe it or not, I had never been to ever been to France, hadn't studied it.
It all started when Rita Barney walked away from her 25-year career as a hairstylist and decided to go to cooking school in Texas.
Right in the middle of culinary school, when we did the different ethnic groups of food, it just like hit my heart one day that it was like it had to be French. It couldn't be anything else. It had to be French. And so therefore, I just started studying more of that and knew that eventually that I would have a cafe.
Things started falling into place. Rita got a taste of her future.
My husband followed me around Paris for a week, and all we did was just eat in where the locals ate. We ate where Hemingway ate and where Hemingway drank, and we studied the people, we studied just what they had for lunch.
Rita and her husband moved back home to Woodward, and Cafe Eden was born. Now, about that name.
The perfect place, a comfortable place, and that reminded me of the Garden of Eden, because that really was the perfect place to be from the very beginning. So that's really where the Eden part came from, and a cafe is a very small eating establishment that you can come and have a cup of coffee or a tea, and you can sit and relax with friends without feeling rushed and pushed.
And while customers enjoy this quaint cafe and tasty food, gourmet coffee, Rita stays busy in her kitchen. She is the only cook, and she makes sure each plate is perfect.
I've tweaked it some, and I put a little cowboy twist to it, you know. Everything I do has a French foundation, but I have put chipotle spices, you know, in my potato soup, you know. It was like, boy, that was really difficult for me to do at first, because it's like, that is not French, but it worked. And so then, as I matured as a chef, well then, you know, I come up with my own signature things. So we are Cowboy French is what I call what I do.
And that recipe is working. Cafe Eden celebrates its 5-year anniversary this month. Chef Rita prepared one of the customer favorites for us.
It cannot be an authentic French restaurant without having a croque monsieur on the menu. And what a croque monsieur is bread that has been dipped in a French toast batter filled with ham and cheese and turkey. Then we grill it just a little bit to give it that last little bit of crisp. We serve ours with a side of a raspberry sauce, which is amazing because then you have the ham, which is a savory, and then you have a little bit of the raspberry sauce that's sweet, and you dip it in there, and oh my goodness, it is like a huge seller.
And of course, they're known for their coffees and espressos here. I'm gonna try a signature drink. This is an Italian espresso latte. You can't get anything else like this in Oklahoma. These beans are grown in Haiti. I hear it's delicious. Very good, sweet, smooth, bold, love it.
Cafe Eden offers a variety of delicious desserts and pastries, gourmet sandwiches, soups, salad, and much more. Bon appetit! In my hometown, Woodward, I'm Tina McGarry, discovering Oklahoma.
Cafe Eden is one of over 24 restaurants featured in the current issue of Oklahoma Today magazine. To see the other destinations worth the drive for lunch or dinner, pick up a copy today or subscribe at oklahomatoday.com.
Well, it's summertime and lots of Oklahomans want to get their kids out of the city.
Absolutely, and onto a farm to experience Oklahoma life outside the suburbs.
As it grew, I would have people say, well, can we come see the alpacas? I said, absolutely.
We found just the place for you to visit. Our trip to Just Right Alpacas is coming up.
And after that, it's time for dessert.
We do a chocolate and coconut delight that people love. I do about 4 or 5 different cakes.
A front row seat to some of the best eats in western Oklahoma still ahead right here on Discover Oklahoma.
It's mind-boggling to go through the history of music and the connection to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's Rhythm and Roots website is shaking the walls with legendary talent, iconic venues, and vocals from the heartland. Full of photos, videos, music, trivia, and itineraries, Rhythm and Roots transforms Oklahoma's rich music legacy into a bucket list of travel opportunities. Tune in to OklahomaMusicTrail.com and start your journey today.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from the Oklahoma History Center this week. We're kind of along this Red River Journey exhibit.
Absolutely. Now, you and your family live in the country, and I know that over the years you've had horses, cows, pigs, goats, and rabbits. What am I missing?
Right. No alpacas.
No alpacas. Okay.
Never had an alpaca, but there's a place not too far from us where you can go and spend a day or even a couple of days falling in love with these gentle creatures. Our friends with the Agritourism Department suggested we visit Just Right Alpacas in Jones. To tell you the truth, I wasn't quite sure what to expect from an alpaca farm, but my visit to Just Right Alpacas turned out to be one of the most enjoyable mornings I've spent in a long time.
Hi, sweetheart. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Jennifer wants to give you some pellets this morning. Yeah.
First of all, our host, Janice Robinson, was a delight.
Good girls. Good girls.
And so were her girls, the sweet, fuzzy, soft-eyed herd of multicolored alpacas she and her husband have lovingly grown on their acreage near Jones.
We had this beautiful land, and it didn't have anything on it other than the 2 horses. So I'm very involved in the arts, and I love spinning and knitting and doing things with my hands. And we saw a picture of an alpaca in the newspaper. So I went to visit the ranch. Absolutely was enthralled with them. So we started out in 2002 with 2 very young girl alpacas and 1 llama, and then our business has expanded since then.
Hello, little cute baby. What's your name? What beautiful wool you have.
What big eyes they have. And as you can imagine, they eventually drew a crowd.
As it grew, I would have people say, well, can we come see the alpacas? I said, absolutely. So we have people come and look at the alpacas and get to have the opportunity to walk with them, be out here in this lovely outdoor place.
For anyone who enjoys animals, it is sheer delight to be surrounded by such charming, serene creatures, to get a glimpse of their unique personalities and find a favorite. This one is mine. Then to walk into Janice's gift shop and be able to match the yarn and knitted goods by name to the 4-legged ladies you've just befriended is totally enchanting. This lovely wrap is from the wool of my new friend Fiona and is just one of the beautiful items Janice has crafted on her knitting machine. You can spend a morning as we did, or bring your group for lunch on the patio.
We have my knitting groups that come. They come out, touch the alpacas, and then they all spread out and tell stories. And I have a lot of that type of groups where it'll be a knitting group, a weaving group, groups that have an interest in animals, or that want to just be at a place where they can see the animals. So
if that's not long enough, you can spend the night.
we do offer overnight country stays here for 2 people, and it would be literally in this room. This is a self-contained area.
If you do decide to pay an overnight visit, you can pack a bag, but no need to pack an alpaca. They have plenty here, and they are just right. This story is part of our agritourism series. To find out more great places brought to you by the fine folks at Agritourism, request a copy of their free brochures, and you can find them on our website, travelok.com. When we come back, a trip to a building more than 100 years old,
where they make some of the best food you'll ever taste.
Oh, well, I think this is probably the greatest place in town to have lunch.
We are Anadarko bound when Discover Oklahoma continues.
Hot off the press. Order your free copy of the 2015 Oklahoma Travel Guide and get an all-access pass to the very best places, attractions, and activities Oklahoma has to offer. Go online to travelok.com and order your free copy today.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma. Again, we're at the Oklahoma History Center. We're up on the 3rd floor now at the Winnie Mae Cafe. Great place to come get a plate lunch or a burger. Wonderful lunch stop.
You know about another place that's a fantastic location to eat lunch?
I'm always ready for that.
And I know you would say that. It's actually
I'm so predictable.
It's actually in Anadarko. This is one of those places you have to try. It's called the Soda Fountain Eatery. Since 1901, this building has been a drugstore and a soda fountain, but in 2000, it became an extremely popular full-time eatery, thanks to the hard work of owner Phyllis Melton.
When we first opened, I did the special, did the soup, and created the menu from places we had been when we took our kids snow skiing. But as far as, and right now all I do is desserts. And we do a chocolate and coconut delight that people love. I do about 4 or 5 different cakes. Just lots of special desserts.
Those desserts are a big draw here, but let's talk about their soups, which is one of the biggest things for which they are known.
We make some amazing soups from scratch every day. I didn't realize how much men love soup until I put the eatery in. They absolutely love soup, more than women. So we sell out every day.
And their fresh, colorful salads are always a big seller, from the strawberry pecan to the mandarin orange, the chef, the Cobb, Greek salads. People simply love them. Their sandwiches are also a favorite of many, and they have a famous chicken salad sandwich which was created by the previous owner during the Depression. But
the chicken wouldn't keep, so he started making it out of pork and beef and pickle relish. And to this day, we make a chicken salad out of pork and beef. So that's kind of a funny thing, but people love it. People that come back here for reunions, 50-year reunions and things, they always want to know if we have the original chicken salad, and we make it, and we make tons of it. People love it.
It's quite obvious people love coming here not only for the delicious homemade style meals, but there's more to it than that.
Well, I eat here. I've known the owners pretty much my entire life. The food is delicious, and the atmosphere is it's always a delight and fun, and it's just an enjoyable place to have lunch and meet with friends and family at any given time.
Well, I think this is probably the greatest place in town to have lunch. The atmosphere is really great. You can do a little bit of shopping. You can always see somebody that you know. The staff is pretty wonderful, and the desserts are awesome.
Can you get a shot of his empty plates? This gentleman had the baked spaghetti on this day. Look at his plate. Does that tell you anything?
I like the atmosphere, and the daily specials are always good. They also have very good sandwiches.
Did you notice each customer mentioned the atmosphere in here during lunch? Although Phyllis's love is in the kitchen, it's the people who keep her going. It all goes back to when Phyllis's husband asked her one day why she does this.
And he came in one day from the farm, so he comes in to eat lunch, and I said, come here. And we were standing back there in the hall. I said, listen. And people were laughing and just having the best time out here. And I said, that's why I do this. It really makes me happy to see people enjoying themselves, and I can be a part of that.
If you're looking for great places to eat on your next road trip, you need a copy of the Discover Oklahoma Dining Guide. It's easy to get one. Just log on to our website, travelok.com, and click on Request Free Brochures.
Well, I know what I'm doing next.
Okay.
Monday's Lasagna Day here at the Winnie Mae Cafe, so that's where we're headed next. A big thanks to the folks here at the Oklahoma History Center for hosting us this week. The museum is open 10 to 5 Monday through Saturday, except on major holidays, and they have a great admission package for a family of up to 6 people. Everybody gets in for under 20 bucks.
All right, coming up next Saturday on Discover Oklahoma, things are going to get just a little bit wild. We'll check out Oklahoma's newest amusement park ride, the Brain Drain.
And a trip south of the border without ever leaving this state. The best Tex-Mex and margaritas around next Saturday night right here on Discover Oklahoma.
So until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma. Our intrepid Ford Explorer is provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.